What Charlotte said about the passports, this was not in my speech, is a quote: "Travel is fatal to bigotry, discrimination, and prejudice." Mark Twain. So go get your passports. We were told that we were to give a story, history. The last 5 letters of history is story. So I have a story about a little boy that I met in a tin shack town at the age of 3. But first of all, my background: New York City born, pain in the ass, sassy. I'm sure my children will say that. I had it all. Had an active life, college, drama school, acted here and there, fell in love, married a nice man. And then we heard President John Kennedy, January 20, 1961, when he said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." So Bill and I looked at each other and said, "Let's try the Peace Corps." He was immediately accepted because he was a doctor. He went into training for 3 months. And then I got pregnant. The Peace Corps said, "Thank you very much." Dream deferred. So, had an active life, raised 4 children, became single, and I heard about Lillian Carter, who went into the Peace Corps at the age of 68. I said, if she can do it, I can do it. So I filled out the application form, and when it came to special needs, I wrote in red pen, "Do not send me to a country where I have to learn another language. I already have 2, English and New York Street." Where did they send me? The Republic of Cape Verde. One of my daughters said, "Mom, I can't find that country." I said, "Look on the globe." I still can't find it. She found it on the map. She said, "Mom, you're going to be living in East Nowhere." I said, "No, dear, I'm going to be living in West Nowhere." So I went there, and Peace Corps is very, very clear about learning the language of the country you live in. So they sent this very elegant PhD linguist, and he tested all of us. There were 49 of us. We were going to Guinea-Bissau, Sao Tome and Principe, and Cape Verde. I was the last one to be tested. So he tested me. Now pay attention. On the grid, 10, it's going to be easy to learn the language. 5, it's going to be a little difficult. 1, very hard. So you got it? 10, 5, and 1. What do you think I got? She said 5. Optimist. I got -2. I knew I was in trouble. So I went on my first week to the tin shack town where I was supposed to be working with the women. And this little brown hand clutched my skirt. And I looked down at him, chocolate eyes, tentative smile, big tummy, 3 years old. I said, "Listen, kid, I'm here to do a job. John F. Kennedy sent me." Bye now, I left. Next day, same clutch, same kid. I said, "I already have 4 children, thank you very much." Goodbye, I left. Third day, same clutch. I said, "Well, okay. Hard-ass New Yorker, right?" I said, "You could stay on my lap for a little while." It became 2.5 years. I would take him back to my apartment and I would wash him in my little tiny sink with water, not running water, but water, because he had never had a bath because our country had no rain for 19 years. So we bonded. The first meeting with the ministers, all men, no surprise. And when I walked in, I had a little bit of Portuguese after 3 horrific months in Guinea-Bissau learning the language of Portuguese. The first man said, "Oh, ela é mulher velha." She's an old woman. I got that. I understand that. second man said, Ella esperto. I said, I know that verb. That's smart. They think I'm smart. I can deal with that. The other man said, why? The fourth minister said, Ella tem rugish. What the hell is rugish? I didn't have my dictionary. So I went through 3 torturous hours of a meeting that I knew nothing about what they were saying, went home, got my dictionary and said, rugish, wrinkles. I think I like that. Wrinkles. That's like an elephant. In an elephant herd, the first animal that's ever asked is the matriarch of the herd, because guess what she has? Wrinkles. So I said, the old age card. I'm going to play that. And I played that old age card for the entire time. When I worked with the ministers to get permission to get wood, where there was no wood, for the children's library. When I taught AIDS education, which is SIDA, S-I-D-A, which is AIDS backwards. And then I said, well, they have to have some skill. So I sat around and watched the women. They were master seamstresses. They had 1 sewing machine in the village. I said, do you have any more? This old lady comes up and goes, we got some more. I said, and where might they be? So you get a car and you go into the interior, and they had hidden 10 Singer sewing machines when the Portuguese gave us, Cape Verde, our independence in 1975. There were 10. I said, well, where are they? She said, under there. And they had a big tarp over them. Dragged them back. And because it's a Roman Catholic country, everybody was pregnant. So what do? You make maternity clothes. I had to explain that to him, what that was. So we had a lot of money. So I said, okay, we have to put the money in a safe place. We're going to go to a bank. We go to the bank. I have 11 women with me, all in the association. And the banker, not a nice guy, said, oh, they can't come in. They don't have shoes. I said, no, they're putting money into the bank. They don't have shoes. So I said, fine. Never try to stonewall a New Yorker. Right, Laura? Wherever you are. So I go back, I say, listen, go back to the Tin Shack town, it's 1.5 miles, get 11 pairs of shoes, and come back. So they do. I said, I'm taking a nap, come to my apartment. So they come back, they have all the shoes. So the first lady, I give her a ballet slipper and a boot. The next lady gets a hooker high and a flat. The next one gets, you got the picture? They're all in different shoes. We go into the bank, and I say, bon dia. Of course, it was afternoon. I should have said bon tar, but I never got that right. I said, bon dia, zapatos. We put the money in the bank. Those women walked out with such pride, such compassion. And they said, we made the money. And I said, you made the money. I didn't. So, back to Paulino. His mother said, please take him back to the United States. I said, I can't. I came home. I kept thinking about the kid. I went back and got him. I said, Amelia, are you still interested in having him come to the United States? Yes, please. Had no birth certificates. Talk about bureaucracy. It's called WAWA, West Africa Wins Again. We got it. He is now living in Salt Lake City with a Roman Catholic family. He is a father and a wonderful dad, 2 children. I'm his godmother, and he is firstborn. I'm his godmother, too. So Laura said, you can't have a script. So I said, fine. But being the contrarian, because you're all such a wonderful, noble audience, I have one last quote. It's very significant. It's short, Laura. Quote, as Margaret Mead, the American cultural anthropologist, once said, quote, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has, unquote. Thank you.